What's up, everyone? So basically we're gonna try something new here today. I'm gonna go over my first set of duels in the CDL. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I honestly felt like I played pretty well. I was happy with my performance. Unfortunately, some duels just didn't go my way, but that's just kind of how Classic is sometimes. You get unlucky resists. And yeah. My first duel was against Improv, and he actually had a really sick opener against me. So in general, my strategy is kind of just rush down a Warlock. What he did to deny that was he actually just spell locked me and used a cloaking device. So really good opener by him. Unfortunately for him, I resisted his soul fire. So he actually cast a soul fire with the cloaking device. If that would have hit me, maybe it would have done something. It could have got him ahead in the duel, but unfortunately it resisted. And I was able to just kind of summon out my pets, spam out as much damage as possible, and try to, win this duel before I eventually get devoured out and run out of mana. And then you can see that's exactly how it plays out. Just using everything I can to stay on top of him. Ice blocks. Eventually, Will of Forsaken, I end up catching him in a CS there. So anything I can to just rush him down. Arcane Explosion, Fire Blast, Cone of Cold, just hoping I don't get resists. And I end up winning this one. A lot of the damage in this duel came down to my Mithril Dragonling, as well as my Battle Chicken.
To be honest, he played it really
So
well.
he did a good job in that duel. Next one is going to be against Soda, and you'll notice I'm not going to play all the duels, just the duels that I think were really, really meaningful. Against the Soul Link Warlock, Improv duel number 2, he ended up beating me, so it was a 1-1 score. Now, against Sodapoppin, my general strategy is just try to survive and outlive his rushdown, outlive his mana bar, and honestly, it went pretty well. He did a really good job trying to diffuse the damage I was doing. He never really got caught in Novas when he got locked out. He made sure to use reflectors and max range me, so I was never able to really fully capitalize on that. And he's just a really difficult opponent. I mean, in general, druids aren't the easiest. I think as mages get more and more gear, it's one of those duels that can start turning in the favor of the mage, perhaps, as you get more spell power for your ice barrier, and all of a sudden your frostbolt crits can just, kind of blow people out of the water. It can get better for the mage, but in general, I was really happy with how I played this duel. I ended up surviving a really long time. Forced out his innervate. Throw out an ice block there. That was actually a really crucial moment in the duel. I ice blocked and then counterspelled him to try to get some dots up, or try to bandage after he had no dots up with the improved counterspell. So kind of important moment. We're gonna skip forward a bit, and I'm just gonna continue to try to rush him down. Both my duels against Soda were so ridiculously close. They both came down to us both being completely out of mana. At the end of the duel, oh, that's a moment. Like, that resist on the mortar there could have been the difference between winning and losing the duel. So it's unfortunate, and watching back these duels, it sucks, but just how it goes. Just trying to kite, trying to survive best I can. Such a close duel. It was fun. And I actually almost get my mana gem. Look at this. Mana gem. Oh, Moonfire.
I tried.
Tried my best. It was a good duel. Hats off to him, honestly.
That was the best I could do.
Despite the fact that duel, went well, I tried to use basically as much as I could, throwing out whippers, everything. Duel number 2 was very, very similar. You're gonna see it kind of play out very similar. He tries to, summon his pets. I quickly deal with those. And if any of you guys are wondering kind of how you play this matchup, it really is a battle of mana and making sure you're not taking damage at the wrong times. You want to, at all costs, try to expend your ice barriers. You want to be able to delay as much time as possible until you get another ice barrier up, because getting efficient ice barriers up, you can see he's almost completely tapped on mana. I'm doing very efficient damage with Frostbolt. And I'm almost able to kill him, but I just don't have enough mana. If I had just got a few more crits, anything, maybe I could have won this duel, but he ends up surviving long enough to, I think Innervate actually came back up for him, which is super duper unfortunate. I just can't get any regen. Looking back on this duel, I wonder if there's actually a way I could have maybe won. I have a Whipper Tuber up now, and it's what's kind of interesting. I highly recommend that. At this point, I lost the duel. I was gonna say, I highly recommend you guys do this kind of thing where you could record and go back and look at your gameplay if you want to improve, because you can see just little things. This is a duel I wasn't gonna win. Well played to Soda. Like I said though, I'm not upset about how I played this one. I thought I played well. It's just a hard matchup. What can you do, man?
Tried my best.
What can you frickin' do, mate?
Yeah, I really feel like I played that suit. Like,
So my next duel, I believe, is against Bean.
He was good about managing his mana. He used like a Dark Ruin early on.
All right, so next duel against Bean. This is a very fast-paced duel. Basically, I'm trying to get on top of him, and he's trying to get away from me. So he starts to duel with a scatter, and he gets a lot of distance, which is unfortunate. But I'm almost able to close out the range. And unfortunately for me, my mortar resisted. So if that mortar doesn't resist, I either get to sheep him, which is what I would have done. I would have just sheeped him, and I would have gotten on top of him, and then probably would have won the duel, to be honest with you. But unfortunately it resisted, and he got to stay at range. So I have to basically, at this point, I have to deal with the fact that he's at max range, he resisted my mortar, and he has a frost reflector on, and I can't snare him, and I have no blink. So kind of a rough spot to be in, but I try not to panic. He ended up having a really sick mortar there, so he countered my polymorph with mortar. Like I said, sometimes it's the way these things go. And despite all of that, this duel was still so close. Maybe I could have ice blocked there. I ended up winning duel number 2. Like I said, it's one of those duels where I'm trying to get on top of him and he's trying to run away. I end up landing the Frostbolt, the net trinket, and at that point, this duel is, I'm in a really good spot. Just ice block before he can get his trap on me. He's still in a net, and I can just play in the dead zone and just kind of Arcane Explosion and get him down. And I'm able to pick up a second win against Bean. And thank God for this win, because, like I said, some of these duels really didn't go my way. This is one of them where it could have been a 2-0 for me. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And yeah, he just did a good job. Now, against Priest, in general, my strategy is to really rush them down. Like, it's basically impossible for you to get 2 wins against a Priest in a format like this, so you use everything to try to get him down. And that's exactly what I did. Just really aggressive strategy early on. Unfortunately, he resisted my thorium nade, so I lose the stun as well as damage. And honestly, this opener has not been good for me. At this point, I'm low on health. I've got no buffs. I have to kind of just like cube air. I CS him to bandage just to recover a little bit. He doesn't really end up panicking. I use my Shadow Reflector out of that, so he can't dot me right away. I ended up counterspelling him on his Shadow, because at this point he doesn't really have too much mana to heal. I get 1 tick of Evo, and it really comes down to just a Dark Iron Bomb. I had a really bad start in this duel. He dispels my barrier, and I Dark Iron Bomb. I realize I don't have anything. Nade just comes off cooldown, Dark Iron Bomb, boom, and I sniped the win with 83 health left. So good duel. Obviously I got smashed in duel number 2, but I'm happy I was able to pick up a win because I was kind of expecting to go 0-2. Now, against Xane, I'm not sure if this is the first or second duel. I think it's the first duel. But Xane, really good elemental shaman. My overall strategy for this game, you can kind of win a few different ways. You can either catch him in a counterspell and kind of rush him down, or you can try to outlast his mana. And this is one of those duels where I kind of try to outlast his mana. And you just try to pick your moment for when you want to go all in. It really comes down to like getting good Frostbite RNG, good crit RNG, getting a good counterspell at the right time, and that's how you kind of win this duel. But Xane is definitely no pushover, super good elemental shaman, good at sort of disrupting my all-ins. Right there I go for just like an improved counterspell sheep just so I can kill the totems and drink up a little bit more. I kind of don't want to let him fully recover his mana. That's the biggest thing, is I realize I have a mana lead and I don't want him to be able to take advantage of that and sort of recover his mana. I want to keep this lead. So I just wait for bandage up, and now I get like a clean opener where I have full mana. This is the exact situation where I want to be in. Resist my Cone of Cold on the first aid, so that's a pretty unfortunate swing of health. Instead of me critting him for 1,000, he gets to gain, you know, 20%, 30% of his life. Just little swings in momentum like that are super unfortunate. He misses his nade. I land mine. He has his medicine pouch on. I didn't realize he was playing it. But it's still just like a strategic chess match going back and forth. It's a really fun duel, and honestly, he's a really good opponent. There's a moment in this duel that makes me really sad though. You guys will see it. It's another reset, more kiting. Baiting out the grounding totems, staying out of range of Earthshock. He faked my CS. Actually, did he? I don't even know if he faked mine. He might have, actually. Goes for the bandage. He's trying to save mana too. He realizes if he goes out of mana, he's in a world of trouble. Now, this is the part of the duel that I think makes me very sad. Look at this. Okay, 18% health, 0% mana. I end up frostbolting into that grounding totem because I realized, boom. All right, there it is. 28 mana, 18% health, frostbolt coming straight to his face. This is the duel. Okay, so I did win the first duel against him. Oh yeah, okay, so that duel went according to plan. This is the second duel where, unfortunately, things get messed up a little bit. It's basically the same plan from me, trying to get him out of mana. And you'll see why I kind of thought that last duel was this duel. It's a very similar story. In fact, our characters were positioned in the same way. That's kind of what I'm kind of misremembering. Yeah, this spot, we're about even mana. I have more hit points than him. He's trying to bandage. But the good thing for me right now is that I have mana gem. So I have my mana gem, which means I can kind of push him into getting overly confident and thinking I don't have enough mana. And here it is, 33% health, frostbolt, cone, resist. Okay, so I think that frostbolt probably would have closed out the game. It's just like, it's one of those things. He's in a Nova. And here's another one. I lock him out, okay? So not only did I not win there, and I'm not trying to be a crybaby pee pants, but I'm just saying it's moments like these that, like, they're point swings, you know what I mean? Another frostbolt resist. At a key time too, like he dark ruined there. So that's another one. If that frostbolt had landed, he couldn't have afforded to dark ruin. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a pretty good spot. Yeah. He holds on. He ends up catching me off guard with an elemental mastery shock. And that's what ends up closing down the duel. He gets a big elemental mastery or shock on me, and it crits me for 1300 or something like that. Oh, nicely done by him. He got so lucky with resist though. Actually so lucky with resist on 2 executions. Yeah, good duels, man. We good to go? Now this duel made me really sad, man. So Jayla and I dueled. It ended up being 1v1, 1-to-1. And they updated the rules so that warriors could use resto pots, healing pots, rage pots, or faps. And this duel went essentially perfect for me. Look at this, okay? So I get the early sheep on him. He has his restoration pot up for 24 seconds, and I'm just spamming detect magic. So I'm getting kind of lucky here. Detect magic goes off. I counterspell him to keep him in combat, detect magic. Once again, detect magic gets taken. So like luck is definitely going in my favor right now. I don't want to chance it, so I'm just gonna keep kiting him. I end up getting away from, you know, his intercept. And at this point in the duel with no resto pod, it should be completely free win for me, pardon me. So lucky, holy mother of God. So fucking lucky, dude. Unbelievable, dude. Actually unbelievable. All right. Did 40%, like what did 80% of my health in one attack? Like what? Big crits on me. Now against Valkor, this is another 1-1 series. I made a mistake this duel and I got really mad at myself for it. Watching the duel back, yeah, it's just, I made a big mistake. Now, so this is actually really well done by him. Okay, so he actually gets a bunch of damage on me, or he actually prevents a lot of damage with that fire reflector. He was Novad. That fire blast could hit him for like 900, 1,000. This is another thing I messed up on, is I actually could have won the duel here as well. And then looking back at this, it makes me really sad. Instead of using my Barovs, if I just naded him, I could have just sheeped him and I would have been in a really good spot for this duel. But instead, my Barovs break my, they break my nade and he gets a lot of uptime on me. He also resisted a Nova there because he's running a max resist set, which is definitely unfortunate. But yeah, I beat myself up about this one pretty bad. Unfortunately. Definitely not happy with how I played that last one, but you bet that I'm gonna be playing my next series against the Rogue, Vec, a lot better than that one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis. Like I said, I'm not trying to make excuses, I'm not trying to complain. This is just the way Classic WoW is sometimes. I'm sure as well I got some good resists against my opponents, but it's really frustrating sometimes when it's like cut and dry. You know, if that ability lands, you win the duel, and when it doesn't, you lose the duel. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna keep practicing, make sure I have a good attitude moving into the next one. Honestly, I wasn't too upset about the whole thing. My opponents were really good. This just wasn't my day, and the one mistake against Valkor or the multiple mistakes against Valkor really cost me the duel. So yeah, unfortunate, but hope you guys kind of enjoyed this analysis. If you guys have any questions about the duels in particular, feel free to ask and I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, if you guys want to, wish me luck in the next duel tournament, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. If you guys enjoy this type of content, feel free, like I said, to ask me any question, and make sure you guys check out the rest of my videos. Thanks, guys.